Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay guys, this is a website, it's a webcam website in Europe. I'm pretty sure it's actually based in Germany. At any rate, I've just been sent this link, subhanAllah, and it's very interesting. I'm going to show you exactly why it is. Right now what you see in this night sky is the moon, and you can see the reflection of the moon on the lakes, and the lake below it. Okay, now as I forward, I want you to pay attention particularly to the sky, the shade, the light, the hue, and the color, the reflection of the celestial body on the lake as well. And look out for any other reflections of any other celestial body other than the moon, if you do see any. Right? When you find whatever's in the sky will reflect on the water below. Now I'm going to move forward. Okay, this is, by the way, on the 14th of August 2016. You see this moon as it disappears and goes below the mountains, so does the reflection leave. And the light of the full moon, obviously, we've been deprived of it, and the scenery, so it gets darker. Right? Now we're very much into the thick of the night. It's 2 a.m., 2:30. Right? Keep an eye on the sky as you do. Now you'll see it brightening up because we're coming into dawn. Slowly but surely the sun's going to rise. Okay, but all of a sudden you've seen some bright light, and it was quite sudden. You'll see that it's been quite a subtle increase. Right, look at that. Right, from here, see brightness, then it just goes really bright. Okay, now keep an eye on the reflection on the lake below. Now do you see that blue reflection? That blue reflection seems to be one of the planetary bodies which is being sighted across the globe, world over. Now I'm not going to stop at this. Note that it's 5 a.m. Now when the sun comes out, wherever that is, when the sun comes out, you'll notice that goodness, I've lost myself, I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so when the sun comes out, yes, that's it, that's exactly where I was. When the sun rises and it sets, and when the moon rises and it sets, you'll find that there's a change in the light and the hue. It's a gradual one, it's not instant. And it doesn't go backwards, it only goes forwards. So if the sun is rising, slowly and slowly the sky becomes lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until you get into daytime. And then as the sun is setting, slowly and slowly and slowly, the sky gets darker and darker until you get into nighttime. And then the same happens with the moon. As it rises slowly and slowly, it gets lighter and lighter, depending on whether it's a full moon or not, which is exactly what it almost was on this particular day. Anyway, I want you to notice that blue reflection, which basically means there's something in the heavens right now shining on the lake. Now what's going to be interesting is what you'll see what happens. So it went light. This blue reflection came along, right? And as it did, it became lighter. There you go, slowly coming into the scene. Now all of a sudden it's gone darker. Now if the sun's coming out, it doesn't get darker. It just gets lighter and lighter and lighter, unless the sun decided to pop away again, right? Which evidently it didn't. So let's go back again, so you understand exactly what I mean. Right, so this blue object in the sky comes out, its reflection is seen. It lights up the atmosphere everywhere, and then, because I hypothesized that it's part of this binary system and this star, and it's spinning in a retrograde orbit, which is reverse, the opposite direction to what we are spinning and our sun is spinning, right? So it's basically just been seen in our night sky very briefly, and then it disappears because it's just literally moving fast, just like you are when you're driving on a motorway and the car in the opposite direction is driving past you. It just literally goes past you really fast. You can barely even tell what make and model it was. In the same way, this particular star system is orbiting in the opposite direction to ours. Hence why you only see this for a very brief moment. So for a brief moment, it's in our sky. It lights up our atmosphere, right? And then it goes past our sky, and this is when it's gone past, right? And now the real sun comes out, our sun. And you'll notice it gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until we go into daytime. Right? So what we need to explain, or what just happened there, because the sun doesn't decide to come out and then disappear again. Okay, it basically continues coming out until it appears fully. Okay, but in that particular image, what you saw was that the sun had something came into the night sky. Right, there you go. Here again, that blue shadow, and then it goes away again. The whole sky was lit up. Okay, so it certainly supports the hypothesis. Now, moving on, something very interesting has happened today. Okay, I'm going to read this article to you, and it's going to happen tomorrow. According to these guys, ESO has announced, right, and they made they're putting out a conference, and in that they put a press release as well. And for them, I understand this to be the greatest announcement they've made in a century. Now, when it refers to, I guess, this is the European Southern Observatory, by the way, okay, who are making this announcement. And they've come out and they want to tell everyone publicly that they've got an announcement to make, which is the biggest announcement they've ever had to make in a century. Now, within this century, apparently, man has walked on the moon. And according to them, the announcement they've got to make is the biggest one in a century. And walking on the moon just happened within the century. So whatever they've got to say tomorrow, right, apparently, there you go, Wednesday the 24th of August, is the biggest announcement they've ever had to make. Now let's read further, because I did say that as this planetary system, this star system and its accompanying celestial bodies get closer to us, so will the drive to open dialogue in the public psyche about the existence of extraterrestrial beings and extraterrestrial life. Now let's read this supposed announcement that they're going to make tomorrow for the world. To hear about and learn about, and you'll probably see all the tabloids pick up on it as well. And if I was a betting man, I'd say that the whole discussion is going to be about extraterrestrial life existing. That will be basically at the core of the topic. Over here, what they discuss, I'll just read it out for you. Okay, and I'm going to provide links to the particular sites that I just visited right now in the description box below, so please verify this for yourselves as well. Certainly cause for concern. Again, if you go back to my PDF document, signs, you'll find all of this hypothesized and postulated in the conclusion of that particular document, as well as a lot of evidence for you to follow. At any rate, I'm going to read this out. For years, exoplanet hunters, okay, have been busy searching for planets that are similar to Earth. So similar to Earth, in other words, it can basically, it's habitable. Also, it may possibly have other sorts of life on it. It has an ecosystem. It has water on it. That's basically what they're trying to say by an exoplanet here. And when earlier this month, an unnamed source indicated that the European Southern Observatory, ESO, have done just that, i.e. spotted a terrestrial planet orbiting within the star's habitable zone. The response was predictably intense. The unnamed source also indicated that the ESO would be confirming this news by the end of August, apparently tomorrow. At the time, the ESO offered no comment, but this morning the ESO broke its silence and announced that it will be holding a press conference on Wednesday, August 24th, which is tomorrow. No mention was made as to the object of the press conference or who would be in attendance. However, it is safe to assume at this point that its main purpose will be to address the burning question that's on everyone's mind. Is there an Earth analog planet orbiting the nearest star to our own? Subhanallah. Now, isn't this interesting? It's almost coinciding with this binary system that I understand is coming in our direction. Okay, for years, the ESO has been studying Proxima Centauri using the Stellar Observatory, high accuracy, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It was this same observatory that reported the discovery of a planet around Alpha Centauri b back in 2012, which was the closest planet to Earth at the time, which has since been cast into doubt. Okay, relying on a technique known as radio velocity method, we have been monitoring this star for signs of movement. Essentially, as planets orbit stars, they exert a gravitational influence on their own, which causes the star to move in a smaller orbit around the system's center mass. Ordinarily, a star would require multiple exoplanets. or planet of significant size. So, for instance, the binary system that we're hypothesizing that's entering or has entered our solar system, it also has its own exoplanets. Okay, just like our sun does. More stars do within the solar system, within the universe, in order for the signs to be visible. In the case of terrestrial planets, which are much smaller than gas giants, the effect of the star orbits would be rather negligible. But given that Proxima Centauri is the closest star system to Earth at a distance of 4.25 light years, the odds of discerning its radial velocity are significantly better. According to the source cited in the German weekly Der Spiegel, which was the first to report the story, the unconfirmed exoplanet is not only believed to be Earth-like, okay, so it's not just Earth-like in terms of looks, in the sense that it has a rocky body, but also orbits within the star's habitable zone. Okay, so it's a habitable zone and it's in the Goldilocks zone. The Goldilocks zones, for those of you who aren't familiar with astronomy, basically means the zone where it's basically the conditions are optimum, where life can exist. In other words, water exists there, okay, and so does life. So in the distance that the Earth kind of enjoys in terms of proximity to our sun, astronomically, we're in the Goldilocks zone, where life can exist. We're not too close to the sun, we're not too far from the sun, so we don't freeze over. Okay, so moving on. Because of this, it would be possible for this planet to have liquid water on its surface, there you go, and an atmosphere capable of supporting life. Again, it just reinforces what we just discussed. However, we won't know any of this for certain until we can direct the next generation of telescopes like James to study more thoroughly. This is certainly an exciting development, as confirmation will be made that there is a planet similar to Earth that is within our reach. Given time and development for more advancements in propulsion systems, we might even be able to mount a mission there to study it up close. The press conference will start at 1 p.m. Central European time. You bet that we will be reporting on the results shortly thereafter. Stay tuned. Now, what you can expect off the back of this press release tomorrow is that all the major national tabloids, they'll pick it up and they'll peddle the story, and they want the public psyche to entertain the dialogue of extraterrestrial life existing. Again, this whole concept lends itself to what I believe that the Shaitani elite are basically scheming along with the arrival of this particular star and its accompanying celestial bodies, is the possibility of extraterrestrial life, so that they can do away with a lot of the religious belief that exists here over here on Earth. So anyway, it's something to look out for, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Jazakallah khairan wa jaza for your time and for listening.